Good evening, folks. Triple Crown here, coming to you from Vancouver, British Columbia. This is Operation Dark Winter, CCP and Russia, turn 10. We're still going 10 rounds. It's been a fun game so far. CCP, they have 11 to spend. They are only spending 9 on 3 infantry, so saving $2. No battles to declare, all non-combat movement. So here we go. So we're gonna leave from Shenxi. 1 infantry is gonna walk back into Yan'an. One infantry from Delane is gonna walk back into, is it Chahar? The 13 infantry in Chahar are going to move into Yan'an. So I'm just going to go like this, just to make things cleaner. The cavalry from northern Manchuria is going to go 1, 2 into Yan'an. And I think that is it. So we've got 1, 1, and 2. Don't want to do that. Yeah, that's fine. We're going to be placing 3 infantry into Yan'an. So there's now 17 infantry in Yunnan. Okay. Now on to Russia. Before we talk about purchases, now there was something funny that happened last round, which was a German infantry, lone infantry, attacked the lone partisan infantry in Novgorod. So this is the partisan here, and the partisan survived. So very funny battle there. That was enjoyed watching that, even though it only went 1 round. But the partisans do defend it a 2. They do not attack. Now, we've rewritten the rule probably about 6 times, and how partisans and what part of the game do they pop up. And so lots of discussion, and it's been, like I said, about 6 times, and was brought up again. Do they happen on the German turn, or does it happen on the Russian turn? And if it happens, when does it happen? So we've gone back to the original 7.2 rule, which was the simplest, and it made the most sense. So that is, the partisans pop up on the board during just prior to the Russian attack. So think of the partisans like an attack. So imagine this territory was blank, and there is, it's Russia's turn. Before they declare their attack, the partisans are rising up. So that's when a partisan would be rising up. Now in this case, there's already a partisan there. So 2 partisans, when they combine, they take control of the territory and turn into 1 infantry. So when Russia declares its attack, that lone partisan infantry in Novgorod will turn into 2 partisans, which take control of the territory. So think of it as an attack. Okay? Alrighty. We will now zoom out. And so, actually forgot to collect income for CCP. So they saved 2. We'll go back over here really quick. So they saved $2. They have control of 4 territories in the original 3 IPP. So that is 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 2 is 9. So they are now down to 9 IPP, still able to produce 3 infantry a turn, which is what they've been doing almost the entire game, which is they are very happy about. So now we will go back to Russia. Sorry about that, forgot to do income for the CCP. Okay, Russia's actually going to be saving $1. So they are purchasing 1 IS-3 tank, 1 KV-2, 4 mechanized infantry, 4 artillery, because they can pull 1 to 1, and 2 guards and 1 regular infantry. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attacks by the Russians, so bear with me as we sort this out. So the battle for Crimea. So there is 2 infantry from, oops, I don't know what happened to these guys. I'm assuming they're gone. I'm assuming that they were somehow down in, they're down over here, and they've been picked up by the British, and they are now in, I assume, a battle last turn for Greece. But anyways, so that part of my board was not up to date. So the battle for Crimea, we've got 2 infantry going in from eastern Ukraine. That attack will also be supported by 2 fighters going from Western Russia, 1, 2, 3, and they will have 1 space remaining in their fuel gauge. So that is battle 1. Battle 2 is the battle for Western Ukraine, which the Russians are very excited about because they are then basically on the border of Russia and the German territories. So we are going to be sending 3 infantry from Orly-Kursk into Western Ukraine. That attack will also be supported by 1 tank coming from Orly-Kursk, 1 medium tank. And 1, is that what we want to do? Yes, that's what we want to do. Also, I think that's it. Yes, that's it. Okay, so that leaves the battle for Kiev. So the battle for Kiev, we have 2 guards coming from Orly-Kursk down into Kiev. That attack will be supported by 1 fighter coming from Western Russia with a movement of 1, 2, and it's going to have 2 spaces remaining. That attack will also be supported by 1 KV-2 coming from Moscow, driving 1, 2. So we got that there. The next battle is the battle for Belarusia. So into that attack. Now, why did I? Oh, that's right. We have 1 infantry left in Orly-Kursk coming in. And we have from Smolensk 2 medium armor going in. So we've got 1 infantry, 2 medium armor. We also have from Moscow 1, what are these called? The Katyusha rocket launchers. These British fighters, get them out of there. They're not supposed to be there. So 1 Katyusha and 1 IS-3 tank coming from Moscow. Now in the Battle of Psychov, we have from Western Russia 2 infantry going in. That attack is supported also by 3 medium tanks coming from, or 4 medium tanks coming from Western Russia. And that's right. That's right. Okay. The next battle is the battle for Viipuri. Actually, we're also going to be sending from Leningrad 3 KV-2s into the battle for Psychov, because that infantry killed 2 tanks last turn, and we cannot have that happen again. So, The battle for by purity, we are sending in from Leningrad 3 KV-2s, 1 medium tank, and 1 IS-3 tank. Actually, it's not what I wanted to do. We're going to be sending in 1 KV-2 tank. The other KV-2s are going to be going into the battle for Karelia, which has been a funny battle the whole game. So we've got 2 tanks coming in from Leningrad, 2 KV-2s. We've got 2 aircraft coming from Western Russia, 1, 2, a fighter and tactical. We've got 1 infantry coming in from Volodymyr, and from Moscow we have 2 Katyusha rocket launchers and a mech pulling an artillery. And the last and final attack, which is supposed to be declared first, is the Partisan. So this Partisan is going to become an infantry and be liberated. So that is happening there. And that is all of the Russian attacks. So now we'll start south and we'll roll some dice. We'll start with the battle for Crimea. I'll try and have that there so everybody can see what we're talking about as we move the Afghan battle arena up into gameplay. So this attack, we have 2 infantry at 2 and 2 I-16 fighters at a 5, and defending is 1 at 4. This is the battle for Crimea. And everybody misses. Off to a good start. 8, 6, 8, 10, and a 6. So we will try again. Round 2. And we scored 2 hits. We got a 1 and a 2 with their infantry and fighter, and their infantry return fire. So we lose 1 infantry, they lose 1 infantry, and Crimea has been liberated. The next battle is the battle for Western Ukraine. Into this battle we have 3 infantry at 2, and we will, what should we do the 6? We'll do the blue dice as the 6. So we got 1 medium tank and 3 regular infantry attacking 1 infantry at 2. So here we go. And we scored, we had a 1 and they had a 2. And the defenders they're on point so far, making the Russians pay. The next is battle for Kiev. Into this attack we have 2 guards at 3. There's a lone German defending. 2 guards at 3, 1 KV-2 at a 7, and 1 IS-16 fighter at a 5. So the guards are at a 3, and this is the same dice, the German dice, that keeps rolling a 4. Let's see how many, or a 4 or less. Let's see if can keep going. So he rolled a 3. We rolled a 6, and we rolled a 2. So we lose a guard unit, and I shouldn't have done that. I should have split the guards so they survive. Anyways, hindsight is always 20/20. Is that what they say? But Kiev has been liberated. Now, next, the battle for Prussia or Belarusia. Belarusia up there. Into this attack, we have 1 infantry at 2, 1 Katyusha, which rolls 2 dice at 2. You've got 2 medium tanks. We will say they are the yellow dice at 6, and we've got 1 IS-3, and I believe the IS-3s Of course, I don't have my sheet with me. I think they're at an 8. I should know this. The IS-3 tanks they're in an 8. So there we go. And we have a defending German infantry in Belarusia. So are they going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 for 4 on kills? This lone defending infantry in Belarusia. So we're going to say our Katyusha, look at this, rolled a 1 and a 2. It could have been an infantry, but the Katyusha did roll a hit. So we had 4 hits, and their lucky black dice missed. So Belarusia has been liberated. From the Germans. Now the next attack is the attack for the highly trained infantry in Psychov. So defending at a 4. Into this attack we have 2 infantry at 2. 3 KV2s at a 7, and 4 medium tanks at a 6. Might have overdone this a little bit. We've got 2 infantry, but hey, killed two medium tanks last round, so we've got 2 at 2, 4 at 6, and 3 at 7, attacking this very highly trained German infantry. And we scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, and the highly trained German soldier missed taking out any more Russian units. So we're very happy about that. That was the most important battle of this round. Next is the battle for Valpuri. We've got, there's 1 German infantry defending. We've got let's just say a 6 for 1 medium tank, an IS-7, the 7, and we'll say the 8. The IS-3 is the purple tank. And so we do not want to lose any armor. And so we all missed, and we lose a medium tank. I knew I went into this battle late. So we'll try again. We lose our 6. So we rolled like 11s and 12s. And we rolled a 5 that time. So Valpuri has been, which was not smart. They can attack me with 3 units next turn. Oh my goodness, that was a disaster. We were so worried about Karelia. So the battle for Karelia, we have 1 infantry at 2. We have 2 Katyushas, each rolling 2 dice at 2. We have an artillery pulling a mech. So we'll say that is the 3. So we only need 1 hit. So that's all we're going to roll. And we can roll the tanks after and the aircraft after. Actually, no, we need 2 hits. So they have actually 2 units defending. That's why I brought all this extra stuff. So we rolled a 2 and a 1. Our Katyushas are on fire. Look at that. A 2 and a 1. And they rolled an 8 and a 12. So the battle for Karelia was a success. So we've survived Karelia. Whoops, I'll have to land all the planes with 2 KV2s, 2 Katyushas, a mech, and an artillery. But we should have gone in a little bit heavier into Valpuri, because next turn, if you look up here, I don't know if you can see, that was a big mistake, but they've got 1, 2, 3 infantry there that can all attack these 2 tanks. which would prevent the Russians from capturing Helsinki next turn. But anyways, so we'll land aircraft. So we are going to land the two I-16 fighters that had one space left. They are going to land in the only space they can land, which is in eastern Ukraine. The other aircraft is going to fly back to Moscow, the one that took the battle in Kiev. And the other tactical and fighter up here, up north, is going to land also back in Moscow. The AAA in Orly Kursk is going to walk one space forward into Belarusia. I like that. And the armored train, actually, what are those guys going to do? Oh yeah, these guys are, they are going to walk into Western Russia. Western Russia, yes. The armored train is going to drive 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Over to Novosibirsk. Okay. Now we are going to move these guys over here because it's pretty big change, I guess. So all of the Russia, there's 1 infantry currently in Yan'an. So the 3 tanks from Chahar, the tank destroyer, light tank, 2 artillery, and 5 infantry are all coming into Yan'an. So that's the movement there. Now placement of units. We are placing 2 guards and 1 infantry in Novosibirsk. We are placing 1 KV-2 and 1 IS-3 in Moscow. 4 artillery and 4 mechanized infantry into Moscow. These guys are gone. So there's 2 territories left that are under German control. And so that means Germany or Russia is down to 46 on the tracker for the territories they control. And they still control 1 territory in northern Manchuria. So that is, they're at 47 plus 11 in NO bonuses. And that is 58. And they saved 1, so 59 next turn on the tracker for Mother Russia.